Good evening, everyone. I'm Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Steve Weagle, watching what is now Tropical Storm Philippe move across Cuba and bringing some heavy rainfall, well, across South Florida, all the way down into the Caymans and working that way in across the Caribbean, even into the Bahamas. And the center of this is just north of Cuba, but little swirls have developed with little either a mid-level circulation or a low-level circulation going on right here. It's trying to take hold. Either way, it doesn't really matter because it's such a disorganized weather system. It's bringing heavy rainfall. We'll continue to have a tornado threat until after midnight. It looks like things begin to dramatically improve about 1 to 3 in the morning at this point, but there's still a couple of very strong cells coming in. This one in Boca, and all of these moving right up US 1 and 95 in the turnpike. So they're affecting many coastal communities through the evening. It's not quite as active back around the lake, and the Treasure Coast very busy with more rain squalls, gusty winds, and that tornado threat through the overnight hours. Flood watch continues, 2 to 4 inches rain, but potentially up to 6 in a few spots as more storms work in. It looks like everything begins to improve after midnight, between about 1 and 3 in the morning at this point. Of course, we have Amy Lippman in Boynton Beach. We had an earlier tornado warning, and there were reports of damage down there. Amy, what are you seeing? Probably some damage to spots, right?
Yes, exactly. This mobile home right behind me is one of 2 that has some pretty significant damage to the outside of it. You can see this porch was just completely thrown around. There's some debris all the way out to the street over here, and then the home across the street has some windows blown out. Palm Beach County Fire Rescue was out here earlier. They first responded around 6 o'clock today, and they were responding to reports of damaged homes. They did find multiple other homes with some minor damage. This is Perry Village, where I am on 88th Court South, and a neighbor tells me neither of the 2 mobile homes that had the most damage were occupied at the time. The man who lived here is no longer alive, and his brother was taking care of the place, so nobody was home there. And then the other one where the windows were blown out, I'm told the owner of that one is in Canada. So the fire department did not report any injuries associated with this, and they are investigating in terms of the damage of a possible tornado. Back to you, Steve.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chance. Thanks, Amy, for that, that this was a tornado. Funnel clouds were spotted. We've even picked up some video from our viewers of what appears to be a tornado touching the ground, and there was a tornado warning in that area at the same time. More storms with potential tornadoes through the overnight hours, certainly after midnight, because of this active weather pattern. And let me just go back a couple of frames. The back edge of this is just off Fort Myers and Naples and Marco Island. This has to make it through our area before we start to see an improvement here, and that'll likely be about roughly 5 hours from now before it begins to clear the area. The whole thing is moving about 30 miles an hour, so pretty impressive. Now there are additional storms firing up along southern Palm Beach County, and James Wieland is on the road tonight, and our new Weather Pilot 5. James, what are you seeing as you drive down 95?
Yeah, Steve, taking the pilot out here, and we're stopped in traffic on I-95. We're about a mile or so from Boynton Beach Boulevard, and looking at a crash on I-95 just beyond exit 56, which is Woolbright Road there. It's a minor accident, but it does have the left lane blocked, and as you can see here, it has, well, all the lanes just about stopped right now. We are in the far left lane, and you see all the lanes, though, all the way over to the right are blocked at the moment. The rain started to pick up here a little bit ago. I don't know if this accident is rain related, but it was reported not too long ago, so it might be. And we're seeing some water and ponding on the roadways, but 95 is usually pretty good at holding the water out there. We're going to keep going and heading south and seeing what we see. When we were up into downtown West Palm Beach, there were a lot of power outages, dark buildings out there, street lights out, so we're still dealing with that. Steve?
Thanks, James. You're going to run into another heavy rain cell right there. It's coming in around Boynton Beach and working quickly up 95, so that's another area that we'll watch for any kind of tornado development, or at least the threat through the evening. It's each one of these little cells that we're watching for potential severe weather, gusty winds, damaging winds. And yes, there are some power outages. The roads are treacherous, zero visibility in a lot of roadways. So if you can stay inside, please do so.